the early 1800s, deep in the quiet farmlands of Tennessee, a family believed they were safe from the world's chaos. But they were wrong, because what came to their home wasn't human, and it would become the most terrifying haunting in American history. The year was 1817. John Bell, a respected farmer, had moved with his wife Lucy and their children to a small community called Red River near Adams, Tennessee. Life was good. The Bells had land, crops, and peace. Neighbors admired John for his honesty and kindness. But sometimes peace doesn't last forever. One quiet evening, as the sun set over his fields, John noticed something strange between the trees. A dark creature, too large for a dog, too small for a horse. Its eyes glowed red in the dying light. John raised his gun cock sound. But before he could fire, the creature vanished into thin air. He told himself it was nothing. But that night, the scratching began. At first, the Bell family heard faint taps on the walls and footsteps in the attic. Then came the gnawing sounds, like rats chewing wood. But there were no rats. Night after night, the noises grew louder. Blankets were pulled from sleeping children. Something invisible tugged at their hair. Lucy Bell prayed, believing it was the work of restless spirits. But one night, the spirit answered back. Faint whisper. I am here. By winter, the haunting had a voice, a woman's voice. Sometimes she sang hymns from the Bible. Sometimes she cursed, laughed, and mocked the family. She called herself Kate. Whispered voice, female, eerie. I am Kate Batts, the witch who cursed John Bell. Neighbors remembered Kate Batts, a strange woman who had once argued with John over a piece of land. Some said she was cheated. Others said she practiced witchcraft. When she died, she swore revenge. And now, it seemed she'd come to fulfill that promise. Soon, Kate spoke to anyone who entered the house. She quoted scripture, told secrets she couldn't possibly know, and mocked the family endlessly. Distorted voice laughing. John Bell is a man of sin. I'll make him pay. Little Betsy Bell, the youngest daughter, suffered most. Invisible hands slapped her across the face. Her hair was yanked. She screamed in terror as her bed lifted off the ground. Sound of struggle, bed sheets, muffled screams, slam. Even visitors witnessed it. Ministers, teachers, neighbors, all heard the voice, all saw the terror. News spread beyond Tennessee. People traveled miles to witness the haunting of the Bell family. And among those curious visitors was a man named Andrew Jackson, the future president of the United States. Horse hooves, men murmuring, wagon creaking. When Jackson's wagon reached the Bell property, it suddenly stopped. The wheels refused to move, as if held by unseen hands. A cold voice echoed from nowhere. You may go no further. Moments later, one of Jackson's soldiers screamed, struck by something invisible. Jackson reportedly shouted, By the Eternal, I'd rather face the British again than this witch. By morning, his men fled. The Bell Witch became bolder. She tormented John day and night, whispering in his ears, mocking his prayers. Whisper, your end is near, John. His health deteriorated. He could barely eat or speak. Family members found his medicine bottles mysteriously emptied, replaced by a dark, sticky liquid. When they asked the witch what happened, she laughed and said, I gave old Jack Bell his last dose. On December the 20th, 1820, John Bell died. At his funeral, the witch's laughter echoed through the house. Mocking voice. He's gone. The old man's gone. Even neighbors heard her sing a twisted funeral song in celebration. Eerie choir hum fades in and out. After John's death, Kate announced she would leave. But before disappearing, she 2 centuries later, the Bell family farm still stands. Part of it is now known as the Bell Witch Cave, a dark, winding cavern near the Red River. Visitors claim to feel cold air rushing past their faces. Some hear whispers calling their name. And those who mock the witch often report their electronics failing, cameras freezing, batteries draining, voices captured on tape saying one word, Kate, whispered echo, Kate, Kate, Kate. Even today, local residents refuse to enter the cave after dark. They say, once you speak her name, she knows you. The Bell Witch haunting remains one of the oldest and most documented supernatural cases in American history. A story of faith, fear, and a spirit that defied explanation. Because some curses don't die. They wait in the shadows for someone new to listen and believe.